Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kellen again with another beer review tonight. Continuing with another Alchemist brew. This is the Heady Topper, the one and only. I got this as well with the Crusher. I was gonna review them both side by side, but I figure I haven't had this in long enough that where I kind of want to drink it by itself. But yeah, I'm actually very familiar with this beer. I went to school up in Burlington, and this stuff's very easy to get there. So honestly, I've lost track. I've at least had this 100 times. Bought in cases of 4-packs throughout my time at college. But I've never sat down and reviewed it. So let's get into a can. It's funny, if you go to Burlington, which honestly, if you're in that area, it's probably the best place to go. If you're just trying to try it, if you're trying to stock up on it, that's a different story. You probably want to go to the brewery in Stowe, Vermont. But it's literally, this beer is literally at every restaurant. Like, maybe not every, but 95% of restaurants in Burlington are going to have Heady Topper available just to drink at the restaurant. And they usually charge it it's usually like $5 to $7 a can. And now that Focal Banger is being released more, I'm pretty sure Focal Banger is easy to get to as well. So if you're ever in that area and you're just desperately trying to get it, but have no chance of stocking up on it, then just literally go to any restaurant in Burlington and you will find it. It's very, very easy to find around there. But I feel like most people now who are in craft beer have had this by now, hopefully. It's made its mark a long time ago, and it's still really hyped. People still go crazy over it. But yeah, it's an excellent beer. But yeah, it's poured out. It's funny, when we first had these, back in 3 or 4 years ago, this was hazy, very hazy. But now it's, it still obviously has a good amount of haze to it, but there's, I can see some light through it. It's on that Hill Farmstead level. It's not completely opaque like the Trillium Treehouse or Hoof Hearted kind of beers that are just straight yeast, but it's got a nice haze to it, and it's a very pretty beer, so to speak. It's a golden kind of sunset color. It looks like a standard, a very nice New England IPA. It's just not up to that. It's not that murky, disgusting looking beer that everyone used to think it looked like, used to compare it to. Let's get an aroma. Yep, that's familiar. You're getting a lot of citrus sweetness, a lot of sweetness on this one, on the aroma. It's smells sticky, almost like a honey kind of vibe. You're getting this kind of vegetal, earthy, piney, kind of old school kind of thing. Yeah, there's definitely some dankness. Sometimes I pick up the dankness more when it warms, and I left it out pretty for a while, so I'm probably picking up some of that dankness from that. But yeah, it's there's this kind of vegetal, not quite that oniony thing, but you're getting this piney, kind of weedy, marijuana-like dankness. But other than that, it's just kind of a really sweet citrus juice, maybe some pineapple and mango blended into that, but mainly OJ, grapefruit juice. I have no idea what hops are in this. I don't think they ever released it. I think there's more. There's obviously more than, I think there's at least 4 or 5, but I can guarantee you Citra isn't one of those. I'm gonna get some more in here. I just want to see if it's just crazy how it blows. I just remember this being disgusting looking back in the day. Whoa, that's beer, but now this looks like a standard. I would want more haze in an IPA now, just because I love it. But yeah, it's a beautiful beer. It smells awesome. Let's give it a taste. Yep, that's how I remember it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so body's very smooth. The Crusher was actually a lot more pillowy, a little more chewy, but it's just still a very smooth, full, expanding body. It has that, again, like I mentioned in the last video, that lingering kind of piffiness that I'm very familiar with this beer, along with that cloying kind of sweetness. It's like that resinous, cloying, sweet citrus flavor. But yeah, that piffiness, it's great because it tastes just like grapefruit, peel, or it has a very grapefruit-esque kind of taste. Sometimes it's hard to make that bitterness kind of feel congruous in a beer. It's sometimes it's oh wow, that's just abrasive bitterness out of nowhere. It was good and kind of tasted tropical, but holy shit, it's got this bitterness. But with this beer, it really takes the form of grapefruit juice bitterness. It really feels like it's like the aftertaste from drinking a glass of grapefruit juice in the morning. It's really nice. Yeah. Again, it's sticky, piney thing too. That I'm really familiar with this beer. Very nice, and it's I think the biggest trademark for me in this beer, maybe it's just me, and because I'm kind of familiar with it, is that sweetness. In all their beers, in Fokelbanger, other hoppy beers that I've had, in Fokelbanger, this Heady Topper, and the Crusher, there's like that very unique sweetness thing going on with like this like kind of doughy thing that goes with it, and I think it must be their house use. I always attribute it to that. Because I'm trying to think what else it is, but it's very unique. Like I don't really get it that often in a lot of other beers. But it's very unique to the brewery. It's almost just second nature to me now, because I've had it so many times. It's like this very. I ranted about this in the last video of the Crusher, but it's very hard to describe. Yeah, it's an excellent beer. Very good stuff. Yeah, when this came out, it was this, and then Sip of Sunshine became the next big thing in that area. You know, they started having it at restaurants. I mean, the next big thing now is distributed frequently, like at a weekly basis. But I heard of it. I heard the Alchemist actually is distributing less outside the brewery, since they have a public brewery now that where you can just stock up on it. I'm not sure if they completely stop distribution into like local liquor stores, because usually like in Burlington it would come in once a week. Or come in every Tuesday, Thursday, but like if you were there at any time during the day, like before 5 o'clock, you'd be fine. I mean, it wasn't like lining up at like going to Treehouse or like going to Farmstead and it's like waiting 2 hours to get the beer. Like it's like you'd walk in and be out in a second. But I'm not sure. It might be a little different now. There might be more like limits. I don't know if it used to be no limit. Like I would see kids coming out with 2 cases, but I'm sure they're limiting the distribution at least. In volume now that it's easily accessible, like you can get at the brewery. But yeah, excellent beer. You know, it's kind of hard to describe. For some reason, it's really hard to describe beers I'm so familiar with. But it's overall, if I were to describe it, it's a very sweet, citrus forward IPA, very full body, a nice pithy grapefruit bitter aftertaste that just sits in your mouth. It does not go away. It's very it's very sticky. It stays there the whole time. In 30 minutes, I'll still have this flavor in my mouth. But yeah, it's excellent beer. I'm not sure what to say about it. It's so known now. But for rating, I'm going to give it a 98. It's world class for sure. Yeah, until next time. Hopefully I'll have some more beer reviews up soon. Maybe do a few sours. So cheers, guys. Night.